In the previous class, I was discussing about the properties of addition of vectors, where I was explaining about the commutative law, associative law, and distributive law for addition of vectors, right? Now, let us consider this example. Take down. So this is based on the resultant vector. This problem is based on the concept resultant vector, where we will be discussing about the magnitude and the direction of the resultant vectors. Take down two vectors C and D having magnitude 5 units. 5 units means it can be centimeter or meter, whatever it may be. Then angle. Angle means the angle between the two vectors, right? 30 degree with each other. Find the resultant vector. So we have to find out the magnitude as well as the direction. Let us consider the two vectors C and D. This is C starting from O, vector C, and another vector D. The angle between them is 30 degree. Actually, it should be represented like this O, and this is a C vector. Probably the another vector is like this. That is a vector T. What I have done, I have put this vector. I think I have already explained this. I have just fixing the, I am moving this tail of the vector and fix it here, right? Okay. So I have moved this vector. And that is why if it is theta, this is also theta, right? And this theta is 30 degree. Now, we have to find out the resultant vector. It means we have to find out this R vector. Now, what is the formula? Let us find out the magnitude first. What do you mean by R? Which is nothing but the magnitude, that is the modulus of vector R is equal to, what is the formula? The whole square root of C squared plus B squared and then plus so 2 CD cos theta. Now let us substitute. What is C? The magnitude is 5 units, right? And this is also 5 units. Both of them are 5 units. So 5 squared. 2 CD. 2 into 5 into 5, 25. Cos theta. What is theta? 30 degree. Okay. So you can further expand 25 plus 25 plus 50 into, what is cos theta? Cos 30 degree, root 3 by 2, right? Root 3 by 2. So you can strike this one, so you can make this 25. Therefore, 50 plus 25 root 3. Okay. So you can take 25 outside the bracket. So it becomes 2 plus root 3, right? And again, take 25 out of the square root, so it becomes 5. Therefore, 5 plus 2 root 3. 5 plus root 3. 5, 5 into square root of 2 plus root 3. This much units. Okay. So this is the magnitude of R. But this problem does not stop with that. We have to continue with the direction. So what is this direction? Alpha, right? This is theta, this is alpha. And you have to make a straight line here so that you have the tan alpha. Okay. What is tan alpha here? Opposite by adjacent. And in that case, tan alpha is nothing but what is this opposite, which is nothing but d sine theta. As per the parallelogram of vectors, we already worked out. Remember? So what is this? D sine theta. What about this one? This component? Let me put A here. This is n. D cos theta. Okay. So tan alpha means opposite d sine theta divided by and this OA, which is nothing but what is that? C, right? So C plus D cos theta. Now you can substitute the value of theta and D. What is D? Phi. Sin theta, sine 30 degree divided by phi. C is phi. D phi cos theta cos 30 degree. So that is equal to now what is the sine 30? 1 by 2. And then you can take 5 outside the bracket, so you can put 1 plus. And what about this cos 30? What is that? Huh? Root 3 by 2. So you can strike out this 5. Now 1 divided by 2 into 1 by 2 plus root 3 divided by 2, right? So 1 by 2 into 2 by 2 plus root 3. So 2 can be cancelled. So 1 by 2 plus root 3. Okay. Now you can declare this as tan alpha is equal to 1 by 2 plus root 3. Therefore, alpha is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 2 plus 3. Okay, you can leave it as such. Right? Otherwise, what you can do, you can take this 2 plus root 3 and rationalize this. So 2 minus root 3 divided by 2 minus root 3. So 2 minus root 3 divided by what is that? 2 minus a squared minus b squared. So 2 squared minus 3, right? 4 minus 3. So that is 2 minus root 3. So 2 minus root 3 means what is 2? I mean 2 minus what is root 3? 1.732. So therefore you can subtract what is that? 10 minus 2, 8, 7, 2, then 0. So it means a point, am I right? 27 or 26? 26. So 0.268. This is tan alpha, and alpha is equal to tan inverse of, you can put 0.268. Okay. And you can find out the value from the table, and that is found to be 15 degree. So we have found out alpha, that is 15 degree. And what is the magnitude? The magnitude is what we have found out. How much? R 5 into square root of 2 plus about 3 units. That's all. Okay. So shall I give you a similar sum? Okay. I think I already discussed about the three-dimensional aspect. Three vectors. I'll give you because this is easy. We have already done this. Now let me proceed. Three vectors. Next time. Three vectors. Vector A is given as component of vectors like AX, I cap, and then AY, J cap, plus AZ, K cap. B vector. Can you tell me? BX, I cap, BY, I cap, BZ, K cap. C vector. CX, I cap, CY, J cap, CZ, K cap. So these are the vectors, that is three vectors given. Now we have to determine the magnitude of the resultant vector. Determine the vector magnitude of resultant vector. So what we are supposed to do, the resultant vector is given by the whole square root of head of ax plus by plus ax plus bx plus cx, okay, whole square plus similarly, can you repeat? Ay plus by plus c is the whole square, and then az plus bz plus cz whole square. That's it. You may wonder, sir, how these I cap has gone. You know very well I cap dot I cap is equal to what? J cap dot J cap is equal to what? K cap dot K cap is equal to what? But I cap dot J cap is equal to 0. J cap dot K cap is equal to 0. K cap dot I cap is equal to 0. So that is why when you multiply, you will get only, when I say AX I cap whole square means what? The I cap square is 1. Okay, so I eliminate it. Similarly, AY, okay, so AY J cap whole square means only AY square. Okay, so I have taken the squares of all these things. Then, and all these ij, jk, these are all eliminated because their products are 0. So that is why we are able to get this kind of equation. Okay, so in a single stroke we can finish it. And what do you mean by this? How will it be represented in terms of three-dimensional coordinate? This is x-axis. This is y-axis. Now this is z-axis, but I cannot show on the paper vertically. Okay. In order to explain this third dimension, I have taken the perspective drawing like this. So I have taken as a shadow. So this is Z, right? So it means what? A, B, C, it involves all these vectors. It makes the position is here. So likewise here, likewise here. So these are the three vectors. And now by combining this, we are able to get the what? The resultant vector. Okay. But probably that is this cannot be asked in your examination. But for better understanding about the 3D aspect in this stage itself, you should know at least. Okay. Right. Now let us proceed with the next one. Now let us discuss the sum based on the resultant velocity. What do you mean by velocity? Rate of dash. Rate of displacement. So rate of displacement means how it can be represented by calculus ds by dt, right? Which is nothing but the velocity. What do you mean by acceleration? dv by dt. And in terms of second order differentiation, that is d by dt of ds by dt. So this is nothing but the second order differentiation of the displacement, rate of displacement. So it is called d squared s divided by dt squared. Okay. So this is all of them are acceleration and this is velocity. Now with this background, let us proceed. Uh, this is the same question you asked on that day. I answered, but you have forgotten. See, that is this is the d by dt of d s divided by d. Okay, so it is not like square; it is a function. Okay, so it represents once again you are differentiating the same ds with respect to dt. So that is why it is represented as d of ds means a d squared s, and dt of dt means a dt squared. Now, let me proceed with the next sum. A motor boat. This motor boat is racing towards north at 25 km per hour. And the water current in that region is 10 kilometers. So water current is there. It is also going like this. Which is the water current. For example, let me consider this as a boat. It is going in this direction means this is the water current. Okay. So its speed, the boat speed is 25 kilometer per hour. The water current speed is 10 kilometer per hour. Okay. Now, this is in the direction 65 degree east to south. So the direction of this water current is 60 degree, head down 60 degree east to south. Okay. So what do you mean by this? For example, the north means it goes in this direction. This is the fourth direction. And what about, of course, the water river will be going like this. So either in this way or in this way. Now, the what is the what is said here? 60 degree east to south. Which is south? This is south. This is north. Okay. So 60 degree east, which is east this one, which is west this one. So it means 60 degree to south. 60 degree east to south means that is in between this. Okay. So the water current is in this direction. So we have two directions. One is towards north, another is east to south by 60 degree. Let me explain about this. For instance, we have the north. Now this is east. Uh, 30 degree to east means what? This one. Okay. So it is in between east to south means this one. So it develops an angle like this. Okay. So 60 degree means 60 degree. And the direction of the boat is here. And the direction of the water current is in this way. Okay. Now let us proceed. We have to find out the resultant velocity of the boat. Take down solution. What is the velocity of the boat? Let us represent this by VB, 25 kilometer per hour, right? This is towards north. And what is the velocity of current? Water current, we can say VC, water current is 10 kilometer per hour, right? This is towards what? East to south. Okay, east to south. How many degree? 60 degree. It means, so this is 180 means you have to subtract this 60. So the theta is 180 minus 60 degree shifted. So 60. So it means 120 degree. So theta is equal to 120 degree. Now, what is the, why I have taken 180? Because this is north, this is south, okay? So towards south, it is 60 degree means, I mean, towards east, 60 degree means, and we need to calculate this angle, is it not? So it means totally 180 degree, and we have to consider this angle. Okay, so it becomes, you have to subtract this 60 degree, so it becomes 120 degree. Do you understand this? This angle. You start from here, that is 180. 60 degrees is shifted. So we have to consider this because these are the two vectors, right? Got it? Let me explain once again. Let me explain once again. This is towards north, okay? You understand? Now we want to identify the direction of what. Let me show the water current, okay? So how they have given it is a shifted towards the 60 degree. So this is 60 degree, right? So it means what? That is, it is shifted from south to east, towards east, 60 degree, right? This is 60 degree. Okay? You got this? Not this one 60 degree, right? Towards this is east, this is south. So towards the east from south, it is a shifted 60 degree. Do you understand? Now you have got two vectors. One vector is the boat vector, velocity of boat vector. Another is in this direction, what is that? The water current is there. Or it will follow. So this direction means we have to indicate this direction. How to mention this direction? Now this is totally north to south 180 degree. This 60 degree has gone. So the angle between these two vectors is 180 minus 60, 120. Do you understand this? East, south to east. I mean east towards, that is east is 60 degree. Okay, so towards its shifter, east to south. Okay. So this is theta should be taken as 120 degree because we need to consider the vector angle between the, this is supposed to be the water current. Okay. This is the direction of the water current. So we have to consider this vector and this vector. So that makes 120 degree. So this 120 degree south, east to south. direction of 60-degree east to south. It means that it is the heat. You have to subtract this angle and you have to consider this angle, right? Now, theta is equal to 120 degree. And let us proceed. What is the resultant velocity? V is equal to the whole square root of, tell me, VB squared plus VC squared plus 2VB, VC, and then cos theta. Is it not? Now, what is VB? 25. So 25 squared plus 10 squared plus 2 into 25 into 10 cos 120. Okay. So cos 120 is nothing but 90 plus 30, right? Okay. So 120 is nothing but 90 plus 30. So cos 120 means cos of 90 plus 30. So what is cos of 90 plus 30? Sin 30. But this is 120. 120 means in which quadrant? Fourth quadrant here, right? Okay. So since it is sin 30 and you have to introduce the minus sign here, right? Okay. So now let us proceed. 25 square, 625, 10 square, 100, and this is 2 into 25 into 10. So 250, 500, and cos 120 means minus 1 by 2. So therefore, it is in the fourth quadrant. The 120 is in the fourth quadrant here. So that is, we have to consider because it is a negative angle. Okay, it is going in this way. So 625 means 625 plus 100, how much? 725. And then minus 250, right? So that is equal to the square root of how much? 12, 250. What is that? 5, and this one 7, and this is 6 minus 2, 4, right? So what is square root of 475? Work out and tell me please by division method. You know that, right? Do it fast. Okay, the correct answer is 21.79 means you can put 8. So 21.8. So this is the resultant velocity. Okay. And what is the unit? Kilometer per hour. Okay. Now, can you find out the direction? Proceed. What is the formula to be used? Tan alpha, right? Right, proceed. So tan alpha is equal to what? V C sine 120, right? Divided by VB plus VC into cos 120 degree. Okay. Now proceed. What is VC? 10. What is sine 120? Sine 120 is nothing but what? Sine 90 plus 30. That is cos 30. So cos 30 is root 3 by 2, right? Then this one VB 25 plus what? 10. That is the VC. What is VC? Velocity of the water current. And as usual, that is in the fourth quadrant. So minus 1 by 2 because cos 120 means cos 90 plus 30. So cos 90 plus 30 means how much? Sin uh, that is 30. So sin 30 and that is in the fourth quadrant. So minus 1 by 2, right? So, and this one is 5 root 3. So 5 root 3 divided by 25 plus how much? 25 minus 5, right? That is 5 root 3 divided by 20. That is root 3 by 4. Got it? Okay. So root 3 by 4 means 1.732 divided by 4. Get me the answer. So tan alpha is equal to much? 4 times. So 0.4333. Okay. So tan alpha is equal to 0.433 and you take the logarithmic table value, I mean trigonometric value, that is nothing but tan inverse of 0.433 for which value is 23.4 degrees. This is alpha. Okay. Now let us proceed with the subtraction of two vectors. Okay. The next concept, take down by graphical method. Subtraction of two vectors. Let us consider the vector E. Another vector is coming in this direction, B. Right? Now what we are supposed to do, as I already told you, we have to connect these two vectors by head and tail, right? Take the second vector and fix the tail of the second vector to the head of the first vector. Okay? So this is the first vector, A vector, and you have to bring like this. Okay? Got it? Without changing the direction, just keep it here and connect it to the next vector below the 180 degree, right? So it means now we have put the B here, okay? And we have to consider when it is a B vector, right? Now I'm going to change the direction. I'm going to take the opposite direction of B vector, okay? I'm indicating by a red line like this. And in that case, it becomes what? Minus B vector. So do you understand the meaning of this? So minus B vector. Now when I connect these so that you are able to get vector A plus of minus B vector. Therefore, it becomes, what is that? R vector is equal to vector A minus B vector. Are you able to understand this? Right? Right. Then, now, um, let us go by the analytical method so that we can determine the angle also. Okay, take the subtraction of vector by analytical method. Vector by analytical method. So similarly, let us consider vector A and another vector it goes like this B. Okay. Now what I do is this is equivalent to, now I am inverting the b vector here. Okay, just invert it. So it becomes minus b. And I am maintaining this a vector like this. Okay. So in that case, let us draw the parallelogram so that the resultant will act diagonally to the parallelogram. Do you understand this? Okay. Therefore, now if it is A, this is also A vector. And what about this one? So this is R vector, which is nothing but vector A plus of minus B. Therefore, A minus B once again. Okay. Now the resultant vector is R is equal to vector A minus vector B. Let us consider the angle here. But also we will try to find out the magnitude. So what is the magnitude? R vector modulus. There is a magnitude, that is R, which is nothing but the whole square root of, and you have got the two vectors, A squared plus B squared, right? And 2AB. Now in this case, what is theta? The theta is, you have to do like this. This is the angle, and this one is the angle between the two vector is theta. Okay. So if it is theta, then we have to consider this angle. And what about this angle? This is pi minus theta. Why? Because pi is 180 degree, and that's why I put pi minus theta, right? 180 minus theta. So we need to consider that one. So pi minus 180, that is cos of pi minus theta. Okay. So cos of pi minus theta means cos theta only. Cos 180 minus theta is equal to cos theta according to theta. So R is equal to the whole square root of a squared plus b squared plus 2ab into cos theta. So once again, you get the same formula here. But here it should be minus, correct? What you said is correct. Cos, this is plus, and when you convert this, it becomes minus. Okay. Then now you have the a squared minus, plus b squared minus 2ab cos theta. Let us consider the various cases. When theta is equal to 0, what happens here? Cos 0, 1. So you are able to get r, which is nothing but a squared plus b squared, square root 2. When theta is equal to 90 degree, then r is equal to, you know very well, cos 90 is equal to what? Cos 0 is equal to 1. Cos 90 means how much? So here I made a mistake. Cos 0 is equal to 1, is it not? So I must put minus, that is, what could be the value here? Minus 2ab. So I have not got it that way. Okay. So you correct it, and this becomes what? Once again, cos r is equal to the whole square root of a minus b, the whole square. Therefore, r is equal to, taking square root of square cancel, so a minus b. So this is the case with 0 degree. Okay. Take care. Then theta is equal to 90 means cos 90 is 0. So in that case, you have only what? Square root of a squared plus b squared. Okay. Got it? Any doubt? Now theta is equal to 190. In that case, that is, it becomes what? That is r. What is cos 180? Minus 1. So minus of minus plus here. So therefore, it becomes theta is equal to whole square root of a plus b whole square. Is it not? Okay, because cos theta is equal to minus 1 cos 180. minus or minus plus. So a square plus b square plus 2ab cos 2ab. So a plus b whole square. Therefore, theta is equal to a plus b. So this is the maximum. Okay. So likewise, where it has the minimum value here, when theta is equal to 0. So this has a minimum value, this has a maximum value, this has the in between value. And just like our properties of addition of vector, we have the properties of subtraction of vectors. So take the properties of subtraction. Subtraction. So A minus B vector, A minus vector B is not equal to vector B minus A. What do you understand from this? It is not commutative, correct? Not commutative. You cannot interchange it. And vector A minus of B minus C vector is not equal to A minus B. You cannot associate like this in the case of force. Um, Subtraction of vector. So it is not associative. And A vector, let us consider lambda a scalar quantity, an arbitrary constant otherwise, A minus B vector. So this is equal to lambda A minus lambda B vector. Of course, this is distributive. Okay. So shall we summarize? We have got the additive property, additive property and the subtraction property. And let us take like this: commutative, associative, distributive, right? Now you tell me additive property. So the first one is commutative, second, associative, third, distributive. Now tell me which is possible. In this case, all are okay. It obeys, that is, additive properties obey all these three properties: commutative, associative, distributive. And what about subtraction property? This is not commutative. Tell me, not associative, not distributive, right? Okay. Yeah. And so in the next class, I will be discussing about the multiplication of vector by scalar and dot product followed by vector product. Okay. And before that, I would like to give you two sums so you try yourself. If you don't understand, I will help you in the next class. Take down. This is based on subtraction only. Take down. Question number one. This is based on subtraction of vectors. Two forces of 5 Newton towards east and minus 7 Newton towards south act on a particle. Find the resultant force. This is question number one. Question number two. Two vectors of magnitude 3 units and 4 units at an angle 60° between them. Find the magnitude of their difference. Find the magnitude of their difference. Third sum. Consider two vectors A and B having an equal magnitude, 5 units. They are inclined to each other at 60 degree. Find the magnitude of sum and difference of these vectors. So you have to find both. Okay. So you can take these three questions as your worksheet. Try to do that and you can submit tomorrow. Okay.